Cover. A close-up of Ava Hassinger's photograph with blues and yellows, with Memento Mori in large, wide, white text in a square layout. Page 1. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 2. The inside cover is a full bleed detail of one of Cindy Gosselin's yarn sculptures in blues and purple. Page 3. The continuation of the inside cover is a full bleed detail of one of Cindy Gosselin's yarn sculptures in blues and purple. Page 4. Publication page. The page is white with black text. It reads, Copyright 2021, The Place Press. First edition. All rights reserved. All artwork appears courtesy of the artists. Printed by Fireball Printing, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Bound by Samantha Mitchell and Virginia Fleming. This Must Be the Place is an artist-run, independent curatorial project that provides an egalitarian platform for visionary artwork while fostering kinship between diverse artists. With a focus on working with artists with developmental disabilities in the Philadelphia area, our goal is to create an inclusive support system and accessible space for artists to show and work together. The Place Press publishes artist books and collaborative projects by, for, and with our artists. This Must Be the Place Press.org. Page 5. The page is white with large blue, thick text reading Memento Mori, Mariel Capana, Norman Dixon, Ava Hassinger, Garrel Gaydon, Cindy Gosselin. Centered at the bottom of the page is the This Must Be the Place Press logo. It is a half circle in orange that blends into a light blue and purple center with orange sun rays around the half circle. The words The Place are in white and This Must Be and Press are in light blue. Pages 6, 7, 8, and 9. The page is white with an essay in black text. It reads, The Thing Has Been There. Memory, Forgetting, and Punctum by B. Buff Hunter. Punctum. Essayist and critic Roland Barthes described the experience of looking with intellectual, human interest at a photograph that, say, you have found in an archive of war scenes or staged family portraits. You appreciate the image as a testimony to a historical or political moment with its culturally specific dress codes, postures, and props. In contrast to its satisfying observational flow, there are moments when a detail within a photograph provokes a sharp intake of breath. You're looking disrupted, your thoughts turn inward. In his collection of reflections on photography, Camera Lucida, which are vulnerably subjective, Barthes names this stinging photographic characteristic punctum, after the Latin for puncture. The detail may be a muddy, ridged fingernail, or a slender ribbon of braided gold, the latter invoking a late aunt's necklace. Reaching out from the image to demand emotional attention, punctum reels in intimate memory from forgetfulness. Quote, A photograph's punctum is that accident which pricks me, but also bruises me, is poignant to me. Clutter, detail. In her artist book, The Problem of Reading, Moira Davey lists her New York apartment's clutter. Quote, books in piles around the bed or face down on a table. Work prints of photographs, also with a faint covering of dust, taped to the walls of the studio, a pile of bills. Later, she compares reading and looking at photographs. Quoting Barthes, Davey observes that when reading biographies, the petty details of daily life, schedules, habits, meals, grab the reader with their sustained relevance. She explains, recorded in an almost unconscious manner, these passages allow us to insert ourselves into the scene, to feel interpolated by the text, perhaps a little in the way we are hooked by the punctum of a photograph. In doing so, she hints at the situating power of her own petty autobiographical details, the layers of bills, books, and dust that may haunt the reader-viewer's mind. Davy thus extends punctum to literary experience. The exhibition enclosed within this publication, Memento Mori, further expands the field. Its artworks do not resemble traditional Memento Mori, those blunt medieval reminders of mortality, such as skulls and disheveled fruits. However, through explorations of memory and forgetting, they prick in somewhat similar ways. Grief, time. Bart wrote Camera Lucida while mourning his mother. Sorting her family photographs, a picture startled him. His mother is a child in the picture, and yet he recalled her stubborn expression that later or earlier had flashed across her elderly face. The photograph of his mother as a child pricked because it turned Bart's attention away from the image, and per Boris Groys, toward the void that these photographs cover. It produced a sharpened existential awareness of time and death, of the painfully impossible distance between adult Bart and child mother. Quote, suddenly every photograph is for Bart a memorial. The very essence of the medium is its spectral conjuring of death in life. Making forgetting visible. Ava Hassinger's waterlogged photographs materialize the void between past and present by disrupting the smooth, picture-perfect image surface. Each photograph's function as a memory holder is not annulled, but intensified. Per Bart, quote, sometimes, despite its clarity, the punctum should be revealed only after the fact. I may know better a photograph I remember than a photograph I am looking at. End quote. You might feel this when looking at Hassinger's images. Do you start to fill in your own blanks? The photographic pigment takes on a painterly dimension, dreamily pooling as it forgets the image whose shape it was made to preserve. If Hassinger makes forgetting visible through erasure, through spoiling a surface image to reveal its emotional depth, Cindy Gosselin achieves something similar through accretion. Gosselin's rapt works, binding found, everyday, and artistic objects, such as car keys and paintbrushes, first with masking tape and then with colored twine, protect what is covered while kindling a desire to understand, to retrieve what lies beneath. The thing that has been there. Per Bart, paintings can't possess the sharp sting of punctum as they are non-referential. Quote, in photography, I can never deny that the thing has been there. There is a superimposition here of reality and of the past. End quote. However, the works included in this exhibition suggest otherwise. Surely that which has been made holds the traces of a past act of making. Drawing or handwriting holds the trace of the pencil's movement, painting the brush's journey. You can see that the thing that made this mark has been here. Norman Dixon's letter-like lists of personal names, memorable dates, domestic animals, and comfort foods hook the viewer with their glorious specificity. French fries, or homemade lemonade. His stacks of everyday objects and thoughts speak to Davy's piles of bills and books, the pool of ordinary intimacy that laces biography. Lines of ink trace over bright painted layers. Dots, smudges, and drips register Dixon's changes of pace and pressure, for example, lingering over the beginning and end of cold soda, as you might when savoring the drink. In deeply layered works on paper, Garel Gaydon's writing and sketches exist on ultra-thin planes that pin down fragmentary childhood memories of a visit to the Coney Island amusement park. He compresses one's linear and spatial temporal movement onto one picture plane, reorganizing and transforming memory under pressure like metamorphic rock. Mariel Capana's frescoes, painted on shaped pieces of plywood that have been built up with lime plaster, often operate in horizontal registers that feel sedimentary and associative. A peaked cap above a tree, a car above a pitcher and candlesticks, or in clusters of part objects that, like Hassinger and Goslin's work, require the viewer to fill in the blanks and enter a vulnerable relationship with the work. Punctum. Each of these works records, if imperfectly, the material decision-making that resulted in its presence. The making process is a memorialization of the movements that made the work, movements through time and space, of the ground of the artwork, and of mental and physical worlds. The punctum, in this case, is perhaps seeing the life of the line, of the hand, of the disrupted surface, and attempting to grasp the huge distance between making and seeing, between seeing and knowing. B is a writer and researcher who has served on the board of directors of Vox Populi in Philadelphia. Her recent reviews are in Art Forum and Frieze. She participated in the Q Art Foundation Art Critic Mentoring Program, the Getty Foundation and Harvard MetaLabs Beautiful Data Summer Institute, and the Warhol Foundation Art Writers Workshop, a program of AICA USA and Creative Capital. B is the recipient of grants from the Arts and Humanities Research Council, the Association of Art Historians, and the Sachs Program for Arts Innovation. Holding a master's degree in modern art history, University of York, United Kingdom, she is currently a graduate student in Ancient Near East Art and Language at the University of Pennsylvania. Page 10. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 11. The page is white with black text that reads, Memento Mori. In 17th century Europe, Memento Mori paintings operated as visual touchstones for spiritual centering, reminders of our own mortality within the experience of aesthetic beauty. Portraits of noblemen and women were encircled with cryptic messages alluding to the inevitability of death, while skulls and rotting fruit would offer visual embodiments of this sentiment. At that time, painting was a central vehicle for memorialization. Through a portrait, a person could live forever. Now, the ever-presence of representational imagery means that this kind of eternal life is something we take for granted. This Must Be the Place brings these artists together in Memento Mori to explore new methodologies with a similar inclination, one that seeks to connect the viewer not with an inevitable future, but with a grounded, materially tangible history. Eva Hassinger represents water-mangled family photographs transformed to communicate a new abstract narrative. Found objects contained within Cindy Goslin's sculptures are a mystery to all, even the artist, by a process which both preserves and destroys their identities through mummification. In palimpsestic drawings and paintings, Garel Gaydon layers imagery and text to create deep surfaces where legible symbols bubble to the surface intermittently. Norman Dixon's letters to family, friends, and idols become prose poem tributes to irretrievable memories of past events, mingled with grocery lists and recipes, urgently penned on top of his paintings and loose paper. In her fragmentary-shaped frescoes, Marielle Capana offers remnants of a theoretical mural spanning her lifetime, a tribute to cars, houses, and trees from bygone times, survivors of a mythical, destructive event. These artists employ the ephemeral nature of memory in a similar way, aware that remembering is the harbinger of forgetting, in the same way that flies buzzing by ripe fruit are the harbingers of inevitable decay. Page 12. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 13. This is the title page for Garel Gaydon. The page is white, with Garel on top and Gaydon on the bottom, in large black letters. There is an orange line underlining his first and last name. In between is Garrel's bio, which reads, Garrel Gaydon, born 1960, has been an artist at Land Gallery in Brooklyn, New York since 2005. Inspired by a childhood trip to New York City's historic Coney Island, Gaydon's saturated images often start with layers of figures, landscapes, and words related to the amusement park. The famed Spookorama is a favorite. Interwoven between these landmarks, however, one will find phrases related to Gaydon's life, family, and fellow artists. I write the things I see, Gaydon says. It makes me feel a whole lot better. His unique line quality is bold and sculptural, alternating from simple hatch marks to a complicated orchestra of tangled yet descriptive lines. This fusion results in highly detailed and deeply personal compositions that have been featured in numerous exhibitions, including the Paris Outsider Art Fair, London's Jennifer Lauren Gallery, and the Coney Island Museum. Page 14. This is a white page with an image of Garrel's painting entitled Block Party centered on the page. The composition is a thin wash of pink-red watercolor paint behind 5 rows of triangular flags, drawn with graphite and thicker paint. The flags are in a variety of colors, including dark red, black, green, light blue, and yellow. Throughout the composition are graphite letters spelling out various words, sometimes illegible. Some spell Jack, Ack, Little, Block Party, Garrel, Campbell, and Right on the People. Towards the bottom of the composition is a vague image of a leg and a round drum. Behind the flags are 2 shadowy figures in profile, and 2 tree-like shapes made with gray watercolor or colored pencil. In the top left composition are graphite bird-like shapes. Pages 15 and 16. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Garrel Gaydon's artwork. The page is white with images of 2 Garrel Gaydon compositions, both entitled Untitled. The composition on the left is in colored pencil and graphite. There is dense, layered text and blocked-in areas of color on 3 sides of the composition, with the bottom left corner left mostly blank. The text appears in light pink, green, cadmium red, light Naples yellow, celadon green, lime green, violet, and burnt sienna. The bottom of the page has dense brown and purple hues in a vague drawing in dark green pencil of 3 figures wearing cylindrical hats, obscured by blocks of color. The words are written in all different directions, horizontally and vertically, running upside down and right side up. Some legible words include Long Island, Spook, Jax, Daughter Storage, Back, Us, Gaydon, Cove Allen, Joke, Beach. The composition on the right is done in blue, green, and red tones. The top left section appears to be water, full of dense blue marks and some dark blue wave lines. On the right edge of this blue section is a whale, outlined in dark blue with an unfilled white center, and letters written in blue all caps upside down. The upper right corner of the composition has layered text written in red on a white and patchy red background. Recognizable words include French fries, jumping jacks. The lower right corner of the composition is a dense collection of layered text over a variety of patchy areas of color. Some legible words include jumping jacks, haunted house, wool, elect, spookorama. A faint white line runs from the middle of the right side diagonally to the lower left, mimicked by a blue outlined line running parallel to it and ending in the bottom left corner, which is the elongated nose of a figure drawn with a thin blue marker with an A emblazoned on its chest. This area of composition is filled with dense pinkish red colored pencil line. Above the figure is a passage of yellow and green colored pencil line, with some blue and red text layered within it. Pages 17 and 18. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread of Garel Gaydon's artwork. The page is white with two images of Garel Gaydon compositions entitled Livonia Avenue and Coney Island Boardwalk. The composition on the left, Livonia Avenue, has a dense area of layered color and text on the right side, and looser line drawing in pink on the left side. A shape that appears to be the face of a figure in profile facing left is surrounded by pink text which says Livonia Avenue, Spookorama, Pooh, Eric, Greg. The composition on the right, Coney Island Boardwalk, has dense areas of text and large areas of layered colors. In the bottom right of the composition, there is a large, almost empty area with light markings of letters and the words downstairs, brother, right in the man's cave, and daughter, in all caps near the bottom of the blank space. Around this are very dense layers of lines, colors, and text layered atop one another. There are pinks, yellows, green, ochre, orange colors, and a small rectangle in light blue throughout the composition. In the top right of the composition are the words Hempstead and Long Island, in very dark black that stand out amongst the dense layers of words. Page 19. The page is white with an image of Garel Gaydon's artwork titled Laurel and Hardy, Hardy and Laurel. The composition is filled with text and splotches of layered color throughout. There are drawings of rectangular-like shapes with lines going across that look like they could be hats or barrels or windows floating around the composition. The words Freddy, Hardy, Coffee, The Old Spook, The Live Ghost, Restaurant, Laurel, and more are layered throughout. There are colors of green, lime green, pink, gray, purple, light blue, pale green, yellow, and red marks and blocks throughout. There is a repeating pattern of pink and gray stripes in the top right and middle of the composition. Page 20. This is the image list for Garel Gaydon's work. The page is white with black letters. The text reads, Block Party, Mixed Media on Paper, 23 by 35 inches, 2015. Untitled, Pencil on Paper, 19 by 24 inches, 2018. Untitled, Mixed Media on Paper, 22 by 30 inches, 2018. Livonia Avenue, Pencil on Paper, 14 by 17 inches, 2018. Coney Island Boardwalk, Mixed Media on Paper, 19 by 24 inches, 2018. Laurel and Hardy, Hardy and Laurel, Mixed Media on Paper, 17 by 14 inches, 2018. Page 21. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 22. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 23. This is the title page for the artist Cindy Gosselin. The page is white with Cindy on the top and Gosselin on the bottom in large black letters. There is an orange line underlining her first and last name. In between is Cindy's bio, which reads, Through a combination of wrapping motions, spinning, winding, twisting, dropping, Cindy Gosselin, born 1964, creates her bound sculptures with a focused and obsessive intensity. Pulling various found objects into the cocoon-like forms, from wooden spools to house keys, they continue to morph and grow until Gosselin deems them too heavy. The artist is blind, and her bound vessels are created entirely through her sense of touch. Gosselin lives in Havertown, Pennsylvania, and works out of the studio at Center for Creative Works in Wynwood, Pennsylvania. Her work has been exhibited at Fleischer Ullman Gallery, Spillway Collective, and Fjord Gallery in Philadelphia, as well as the Outsider Art Fair in New York City. Page 24. Centered on a white page is a Cindy Gosselin sculpture. It is vertically oriented with a generally cylindrical shape, with a pointed top and flat bottom and a bulbous onion-shaped area 2/3 of the way up. The sculpture is bound in light green yarn vertically, horizontally, and diagonally in irregular strands. Underneath the bulbous section, there are a few strands of light pink yarn wrapped around the middle. The top of the sculpture has a pointed piece of wood emerging from it. Pages 25 and 26. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Cindy Gosselin's artwork. The page is white with 6 Cindy Gosselin sculptures arranged across it. On the top right is an orange sculpture wrapped in thin orange thread that consists of a rounded, bulbous shape with a pointed cylindrical shape on top of it, kind of like an upside-down snail. The cylindrical shape appears to have paintbrush ends sticking out on either end. Below this, on the bottom left corner of the page, is an L-shaped wrapped sculpture in light pink mohair thread, thin tinsel, and light green thread. It has a tuft of blonde doll hair sticking out of the top and a bright pink marker sticking out towards the center. To the right of this is a cylindrical wrapped sculpture with thin pink, light green, and red threads, with the red emerging beneath the other colors. To the right of this piece is a small onion-shaped wrapped sculpture with thin beige thread and light blue thread. There is a tip of a conical cardboard spool emerging from the top of the sculpture. Below this piece is a long sideways L-shaped wrapped sculpture, the long part of the L lying flat on the ground. The sculpture is wrapped in dark green thread with gray thread running vertically and horizontally along it, leaving the 2 tips exposed. There are a few strands of metallic red ribbon running across the bottom vertically. On the top right of the page is a sculpture wrapped in bright pink thread, with 3 pieces of wood emerging as feet and 1 wooden piece emerging as a nose-like protrusion towards the right side. Beneath the pink, yellow yarn is visible. Pages 27 and 28. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Cindy Gosselin's artwork. The page is white with 5 Cindy Gosselin sculptures arranged across it. On the top left is a blue sculpture with a pointed top and 2 rounded pieces at the wider bottom. The sculpture is mostly wrapped in light blue thread, with pink thread wrapped over the top in a dispersed vertical and horizontal pattern. Around the long pointed tip is a ring made of plastic beads that emerges from under the thread. The rounded pieces at the end are composed of flexible wire, which are visible beneath the thread. Below this, on the bottom left, is a wrapped sculpture in shades of tan, red, and white, with a paintbrush stuck horizontally diagonally through it. It has a wide, bulbous shape with a cinched area towards the top. Below thick white ribbon and thin red yarn wrappings is a plush, beige substance that is bunching out at various points. To the right of this piece is a horizontally long sculpture wrapped in thin yellow thread. The 2 ends have protruding black plastic elements wrapped in white masking tape. The entire sculptural shape looks a bit like a bound figure, with various bulky rounded areas. The sculpture has a purple colored pencil emerging from it. Above this piece, to the left, is a bulbous wrapped sculpture covered in thin purple thread, with 3 legs emerging from the bottom, composed of wooden dowels and red-colored pencils. To the right of this is another wrapped sculpture that has a cylindrical vertical shape with a pointed bottom end. The shape is wrapped in black and white string, turquoise thread, red, blue, and yellow yarn, and beige fabric at the top. The string is wrapped tighter towards the bottom and in looser vertical and horizontal wraps at the top. Page 29. This page is white, with a Cindy Gosselin wrapped sculpture in the center. It is a shape that looks a bit like an anatomical heart, with a rounded end leaning toward the bottom left and a pointy top leaning towards the right, and composed of a pointed piece of wood. The sculpture is composed of multicolored fabrics with light pink and light blue thread wrapped around it, as well as a combination of red, white, green baker's twine. The wrapping is loose, and there are lots of moments where one can see the fabric underneath. Page 30. This is the image list for Cindy Gosselin's work. The page is white with black letters. The text reads, Untitled, lime and pink. Thread, acrylic yarn, cardboard, masking tape. 10 by 4.5 by 6 inches, 2019. Clockwise from top left. Untitled orange. Thread, masking tape, paintbrushes. 11 by 5 by 4.5 inches, 2019. Untitled blue and brown cone. Thread, acrylic yarn, cardboard yarn spool, 2019. Untitled pink tripod. Thread, ribbon, masking tape, wood, 2019. Untitled blue dinosaur. Thread, beads, armature wire, 13 by 4 by 4 inches, 2019. Untitled purple tripod. Thread, masking tape, wood, colored pencils, 7.5 by 6 by 7 inches, 2019. Untitled black bakery string. Thread, yarn, fabric, masking tape, wood, 16.5 by 3.5 by 4 inches, 2017. Untitled long yellow. Thread, plastic spool, cardboard, masking tape, colored pencils, 13.5 by 3.5 by 3 inches, 2017. Untitled ball and brush. Thread, ribbon, paintbrush, doll head, acrylic yarn, faux fur, 5.5 by 4.5 by 4.5 inches, 2017. Untitled green foot. Thread, ribbon, cardboard, masking tape, 11 by 4 by 3 inches, 2018. Untitled purple ball. Thread, masking tape, acrylic yarn, 8 by 7 by 8.5 inches, 2019. Untitled Tinseled Barbie. Thread, marker, tinsel, Barbie doll, 6 by 7 by 2.5 inches, 2018. Untitled red, white, and green string. Thread, yarn, fabric, masking tape, wood, 10 by 3.5 by 4.5 inches, 2016. Note, the full range of materials used by the artist is a mystery. Page 31. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 32. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 33. This is the title page for the artist Ava Hasinger. The page is white, with Ava on the top and Hasinger on the bottom in large black letters. There is an orange line underlining her first and last name. In between is Ava's bio, which reads, Ava Hasinger was born in New York and raised in Long Island and Baltimore. Her work combines the practice and use of photography, sculpture, video, and performance, generating a melange of material. She is a former resident of RARE, Recycled Artist in Residence, in Philadelphia. Her work has been featured in exhibitions to include The One You Know, Nova Art Space, Philadelphia. Alternative Facts, Pleiades Gallery, New York, New York. And Descent, ICA, Philadelphia. Hassinger is a graduate of NYU with a degree in photography and imaging and received her MFA at University of Pennsylvania. She is currently based in Philadelphia. Page 34. The page is black with an image from artist Ava Hassinger's Legacy series. It is an image of a photograph taking up most of the page. The photo looks like it has been damaged by water and time, which creates different effects onto the image. It is a photo of a dark greenish tree facing horizontally with long twisting branches and a large blue sky in the background. There are stains of yellows and blues that give a watery look as if the image is underwater, and streaks of light neon yellow in the top right and middle of the composition. Pages 35 and 36. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Ava Hassinger's artwork. The page is black with two large images from the Legacy series. The image on the left is a photograph that has been damaged by water and time, creating textures and colors throughout the composition. It is a horizontal photo presented vertically. You can just make out a person standing on a boat or at the edge of a lake or a pool. There is a white railing in the background and a dark brownish green behind that. There is a bluish rectangle shape below the person. There are stains of yellow, bright blues, and streaks of bright light yellow, like sun damage or a burn from a fire. The texture has a watery look. To the right of this is another Polaroid that is a horizontal photo presented as vertical. The image is almost fully abstract with bright purples, yellows, browns, oranges, and pinks of burns or after images or water damage. You can't quite make out what the photo is of. Pages 37 and 38. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Ava Hassinger's artwork. The page is black with two large images from the Legacy series. The image on the right is a photograph that has been damaged from time, which creates textures and colors throughout the composition. It is a horizontal photo presented as vertical. There is a large brownish water stain with what looks like a lighter brown bubble-like stain. You can just make out a person wearing a light bluish-green sweater with their hand on someone's shoulder who is wearing a white beige shirt. The rest of the image is abstracted with splotches of browns and blacks. To the right of this is the last photograph on this page. It is a purely abstracted image of the photo due to its damage. It looks as if the image is underwater from the texture of the stains. The stains are dark greens, light greens, yellows, vivid spots of blue, and bright yellow lines outlining a stain. It looks as if there are after images. Page 39. The page is black with an image from artist Ava Hassinger's Legacy series. It is an image of a photograph taking up most of the page. The photo looks like it has been damaged by water and time, which creates different effects onto the composition. You can sort of make out the side of a cliff or rock face that is made up of yellowish-brownish rocks, and above this is a water or sun damage mark, and there is a bright yellowish-orange-like light streaking through the top, with abstracted splotches of green, light purple specks, yellows, and light blue colors due to water damage. Page 40. This is the image list for Ava Hassinger's work. The page is white with black letters. The text reads, "From the Legacy Series. Digital C prints. 40 by 30 inches. 2016. Page 41. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 42. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 43. This is the title page for the artist Norman Dixon. The page is white with Norman on the top and Dixon on the bottom in large black letters. There is an orange line underlining his first and last name. In between is Norman's bio, which reads, Norman Dixon, born 1977, works out of the studio at Center for Creative Works near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His artwork is typically in text format, reading as a letter or list, addressed to his favorite people, family members, and celebrities. Expressive washes of color provide an ethereal habitat for his words, which unfold in unpredictable avenues in his stream of consciousness style. Dixon is also passionate about curbing the litter problem in his hometown, Philadelphia. He is currently collaborating with sanitation activist Terrell Hagler at Your Fave Trash Man as trash ambassador to develop neighborhood cleanup initiatives. Dixon's work has been exhibited at the Woodmere Museum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Page 44. The page is white with a Norman Dixon painting. The painting is horizontal with a landscape orientation. It is done in acrylic with washes of color going from light green and purple at the top to reds and siennas at the bottom. On top of the paint is text written in black ink with a calligraphy pen. It reads, Dear Christine Perry, love you. Fried chicken, potato salad, sweet corn, corn flakes, frosted flakes, wheat Cheerios, cold soda, cookie ice cream sandwich, cake, potato chips, plain apple juice, chicken wing, Pizza Hut, meatballs, rice, gravy, Roy Rogers, McDonald's. Pages 45 and 46. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Norman Dixon's artwork. The piece on the top left is a text-based piece on cream paper in landscape orientation, written in red and dark blue calligraphy ink. It reads, Dear Natasha, love you. Fried chicken, potato, potato salad, sweet corn, Kool-Aid, cornbread, cornflakes, cookie, frosted flakes, sugar, milk, baking, chicken wing, Cheerios, wheat, a word spelled R-E-S-S-E, butter, pancake, waffle, egg, toast, roasting, Norman, a word spelled N-A-T-A-T-U-T-A. Below this piece is a painting with swaths of purple, green, red, and black acrylic paint. Written on top is text written in thin light green paint marker. The text reads, Thanksgiving, stuffing, cranberry sauce, pan, potato salad, green collar, cornbread, white bread, a word spelled B-I-C, cookie, chocolate chips, butter pecan, chicken wing. To the right of this piece is another text-based piece written on cream-colored paper in green and orange marker. It reads, Dear Stone Steve Cold Austin, French fried chicken, cookie, sugar, ham, a word spelled H-A-M-B-E-R, baking chocolate, white baking, chicken, potato salad, Kentucky chicken, cherry orange lemonade, lime, a word spelled G-R-A-G-E. P.S. Norman, Steve, love you. The text begins with green and transitions to orange at the word baking. There is another text-based piece above in the upper right corner of the page. It is in landscape orientation on white paper. The text is in various colors of marker, underlined in watercolor in brown, red, yellow, purple, and orange. The text reads, Dear Christine Perry, love you. Fried chicken, potato salad, sweet corn, Kool-Aid, lemonade, chicken finger, French fried, orange juice, apple juice, pineapple juice, orange drink, peanut chews, a word spelled Swickier, a word spelled Mesker, Mr. Goodbar, Reese, butter. The text is in different colors, going from the beginning with light green to red to brown to purple to gold to pink to light blue, all underlined with paints in red, yellows, pinks, and orange. Pages 47 and 48. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Norman Dixon's artwork. On the upper left is a composition in landscape orientation with beige acrylic paint on both sides and a thick red line in the middle. On top of the paint is text written in black marker. It reads, Dear T, A-Team, Mr. a name spelled Matmock, Sat, he, Jefferson, egg, dozen, meatloaf, a word spelled Hamber, fried, ketchup, M. Below is another drawing in graphite on white paper with an open rectangle framing text in the center. At the bottom of the rectangle are two round shapes that look like wheels. The text reads, Dear Christine Perry, love you. Norman, fried chicken, potato, sweet corn, Kool-Aid, butter pecan, cookie, cream, and ice cream, Popeyes, sour cream, potato chips, corn flakes, sugar, milk. To the right of this is a painting in landscape orientation with washy acrylic paint in yellow, brown, and red. On top of the paint is text written in red paint marker. It reads, Dear Christine Perry, love you. Fried chicken, potato salad, Kool-Aid, orange juice, sweet corn, chicken wing, peanut chews, cake, collard green, peas, bread, cornflakes, frosted. Above this piece is a text-based drawing in red calligraphy ink on a beige piece of paper in landscape orientation. It reads, Dear Aretha Franklin, peach cobbler, pineapple ham, banana pudding, fried chicken, mac cheese, cornbread, Italian chicken, Thai shrimp, respect, love her, miss her, Norman. Page 49. The page is white with a Norman Dixon painting centered on it. The painting is vertical with mostly red paint washes and one strip of periwinkle blue and orange on the left side, with a clean paper border on all sides. On top of the paint is black text written with a calligraphy pen. It reads, Dear Christine Perry, fried chicken, potato salad, sweet corn, cookie, brown sugar, egg, brown peanut chews, applesauce, orange juice, a word spelled Honaie. P.S. Norman. Chrissy Perry, love you. Queen Perry. The text is a bit obscured with blotches of ink periodically. Page 50. This is the image list for Norman Dixon's work. The page is white with black letters. It reads, Untitled, Dear Christine Perry. Acrylic and ink on paper, 12 by 18 inches, 2018. Clockwise from top left. Untitled, Dear Natasha. Ink on cream paper, 9 by 12 inches, 2019. Untitled, Dear Christine Perry. Watercolor and metallic paint marker on paper, 12 by 17 inches, 2018. Untitled, Dear TA Team. Acrylic and marker on paper, 8.5 by 11 inches, 2018. Untitled, Dear Aretha Franklin. India ink on cream paper, 11 by 17 inches, 2018. Untitled, Dear Christine Perry. Acrylic and paint marker on paper, 12 by 17 inches, 2019. Untitled, Dear Christine Perry Bus. Charcoal on paper, 9 by 12 inches, 2018. Untitled, Dear Stone Steve Cold Austin. Marker on paper, 10 by 12 inches, 2017. Untitled, Thanksgiving. Acrylic and paint marker on paper, 9 by 12 inches, 2019. Untitled, Dear Christine Perry. Acrylic and ink on paper, 16 by 12 inches, 2018. Page 51. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 52. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 53. This is the title page for the artist Mariel Capana. The page is white with Mariel on the top and Capana on the bottom in large black letters. There is an orange line underlining her first and last name. In between is Mariel's bio, which reads, Mariel Capana, born 1988, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, lives and works in Salt Lake City, Utah. Received a BFA and Certificate of Fine Art from the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts and an MFA from Yale University. She has been an artist in residence at the Guapamacataro Art and Ecology Residency in Michoacan, Mexico, Skowhegan School of Painting and Sculpture, and the Tacony Library and Arts Building, LAB, in Philadelphia. Capana has also been the recent recipient of the Robert Scholkopf Memorial Traveling Fellowship and an Independence Foundation Visual Arts Fellowship. Her ongoing project, Little Stone Open Home with Good Weather, is a long-term and perpetually changing fresco in a single-car garage in North Little Rock, Arkansas, that serves as a forum for material research and collaboration through public tours, instructional workshops, invitational exhibitions, and community-focused programming. Page 54. The page is white, with an image of a movable fresco on drywall titled Alligator, and it is shaped like a rectangle, and on it is a minimal painting of an alligator in profile. The alligator's shape has been carved out of the fresco and filled in with a light green wash. It has sharp, pointy teeth. In the background, surrounding the alligator, are lush palm trees in yellows and washed-out greens. Written in cursive and very lightly is the word alligator just above the alligator's body. Pages 55 and 56. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Mariel Capana's artwork. The spread is white with 6 frescoes scattering the page in varying sizes and shapes, starting from the top left and moving clockwise. The first shaped fresco, titled Tennis Shoes, Astros Shirt, Basket, Fence, is a triangle, and painted within are legs of people and floating clothing, or people with invisible bodies, and just the clothing is painted. The painted clothes are a blue and white striped shirt, a cap and gown for graduations, shirts with red pants, and a large shoe that is white and blue. The background is green like grass, and there is a fence further in the background. The following fresco, titled Watermelon, Graveyard, Basketball Net, is squiggle shaped like a letter Z, and painted within are wooden chairs, a yellow bus, an orange traffic cone, a house with trees of green and small blue, red, and yellow flowers next to it, a road with traffic lines, a table with red and yellow small objects on it, a basketball hoop, and a small watermelon. The next fresco, titled Flower Pot, High Chair, Tree, is in the shape of a tree, and painted within it is a large tree with a large circular area of peach color for the tree leaves, and brown for the trunk. In the background is a peak of a house, a brown chair above the roof of the house, and a plant holder. The next fresco, underneath, is a small bird-like shaped fresco, titled Sand Pile, Dump Truck, Stop Sign, River, with a painting of the back of a Mack truck sitting next to a pile of gray next to a red stop sign. Next, to the left of this, is a square-shaped fresco, titled Soccer Net, Ferry Boat, Ladder, Swing, with an outdoor scene with chairs, a fence, a soccer goal, and cars and a swing. There is what looks to be a ferry boat in the upper left-hand side, and with trees around, all painted with muted colors of blues, browns, greens, yellows, and a bit of red. To the left of this, and at the bottom left of the fold-out spread, the last fresco on this page is a large pyramid or step-shaped fresco titled Daffodils, Bicycle, Fish, Cars, and has a bicycle, clothing, flowers, cars, wooden chairs, grass, and a flower pot painted in muted greens, blues, reds, yellows, and browns. Pages 57 and 58. This page is an 11 by 17 fold-out spread featuring Mariel Capana's artwork. The spread is white with 6 frescoes scattering the page in varying sizes and shapes. Starting from the top left and moving clockwise, the first fresco, titled Truck, Jug, River, Hat, is shaped like a pair of shorts or 2 mountain peaks facing downwards. Painted onto the fresco is a scene with a car, a truck, trees, a large pitcher, candle holders, dark blue overalls, and a large light blue baseball cap. The objects are painted with muted colors of brick red, green, yellow, blues, and grays. To the right and just below is a fresco titled Bridge, Tree, Jersey, Car, loosely shaped like a foot or a shoe. Painted onto the fresco is an outdoor scene with a jersey in red with the numbers 11 in white, a car, the top of a telephone pole, and a tree. The objects are painted with brick reds, blues, gray, and green. To the right and just above this is the next fresco, titled Roller Skates, Bedposts, Baby Blue Suburban. It's shaped like the profile of a car. Painted on it is a chest of drawers, an orange traffic cone, a pair of legs with black shorts and roller skates on, a stairwell, a tall shrub, 2 shirts, one with red and white stripes, and one with black and white stripes, a swing, a bed frame, and a blue car. All of these objects are painted with muted colors of blue, brown, green, brick red, and orange. Below this is a fresco titled Folding Chair, Fence, Road. It's shaped like the profile of a bird's beak. Painted on it is a gray road with white traffic lines, a wooden folding chair, blue pants, a red object with the number 2 in white on it, a wooden table with carved legs, a wooden fence, an orange traffic cone, and white oval-like objects with a blue shadow. The objects are painted with muted colors of brick red, grays, blues, yellow, orange, and green. The following large fresco below is titled Brush, Broom, Tractor, Hat. It's in the shape of a long rectangle with 2 curved peaks going across the top. It is a painted outdoor scene with a wooden rocking chair, outdoor furniture, a flower pot with yellow flowers, a coffee table, a yellow M like the McDonald's sign floating in space, a lamp on a wooden table, a ketchup and mustard bottle, a plate, a Pepsi cup with a straw, a tree with green leaves and yellow flowers or fruit with a person sitting against it with a red cap and a light blue shirt and green pants, a car, a broom, a green tractor, brown animals, grass, bushes, and other floating clothing, or invisible people wearing clothing depicted as blue overalls, red pajamas, a coat with shirt and tie, a blue cap with brown jacket, jeans, shoes, and a tank top. All the objects are painted with muted colors of blue, green, orange, yellow, brick red, and brown. Above and just to the left of this is the last fresco on this page, titled Rocking Chair, Horse Pear, Solo Cup, Bucket. It is shaped like a pyramid. Painted on it are 2 small animals, trees, a small house, a car, a red bucket, a wooden rocking chair, a traffic sign with yellow and black stripes, a fence, a black shirt and black shorts, and the very top of a red and white striped shirt. The objects are painted with muted colors of green, blue, brick red, orange, yellow, and grays. Page 59. The page is white with a centered image of one of the movable frescoes on plywood, titled Water Tower, Water Fountain, Cotton Field, Lamp. The fresco is a rectangular shape with a curve on the bottom and a protruded edge on the left of the shape. The painting within the fresco is an outdoor scene with a water tower, outdoor chairs, floating clothing or an invisible person wearing clothing, a barn or shed, a water fountain, trees, and cars. The objects are painted with muted colors of greens, grays, blues, yellows, and brick reds. The protruded shape on the left has one of the cars painted as if coming off the fresco shape. Page 60. This is the image list for Mariel Capana's work. The page is white with black letters. The text reads, Alligator, lime plaster, earth pigment, spray paint, pencil on drywall, 12.25 by 25 inches, 2019. Clockwise from top left. Tennis shoes, Astros shirt, basket, fence, lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood, 11.5 by 12 by 1.25 inches, 2017. Watermelon, graveyard, basketball net, lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood, 12 by 22.5 by 1.25 inches, 2017. Flower pot, high chair, tree, lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood, 24 by 17 inches, 2017. Truck, jug, river, hat. 18 by 19 inches. 2017. Bridge, tree, jersey, car. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 17 by 18 inches. 2017. Roller skates, bedposts, baby blue Suburban. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 7 by 15 inches. 2017. Folding chair, fence, road. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 14 by 21 inches. 2017. Bush, broom, tractor, hat. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 7.5 by 35 by 1.25 inches. 2017. Rocking chair, horse pear, solo cup, bucket. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 13 by 22.5 by 1.25 inches. 2017. Sand pile, dump truck, stop sign, river. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 6 by 9.5 by 1.25 inches. 2017. Soccer net, ferry boat, ladder, swing. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 10 by 10 by 1.25 inches. 2017. Daffodils, bicycle, fish, cars. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 11 by 14 by 1.25 inches. 2017. The last work reads, water tower, water fountain, cotton field, lamp. Lime plaster and earth pigment on plywood. 16 by 26 by 1.25 inches. 2017. Page 61. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 62. This page is a saturated bright orange. Page 63. The page is white with black text and a QR code for the link. The text reads, "To hear an audio recording of this book, scan the QR code below." This Must Be the Place extends its gratitude to Center for Creative Works, Pearl Corey, Margot Werner, Land Gallery, Stephen McCready, Christine Perry, and Fireball Printing for making this project possible. Page 64. The inside of the back cover is a full bleed detail of one of Cindy Gosselin's yarn sculptures in blues and purple. Page 65. The inside of the back cover is a continuation of a full bleed detail of one of Cindy Gosselin's yarn sculptures in blues and purple. Page 66. This page is a saturated bright orange. Back cover. A close-up of Ava Hassinger's photograph with blues and yellows with Memento Mori in large, wide, white text in a square layout.